Hi guys, welcome to my first live. I'm going to take you guys through my planning process on how I plan without using a curriculum. So this week we are writing a persuasive letter to grandma. We had Fall Fest a few weeks ago and we used real life experiences to teach our lessons. Grandma could not come, so she's going to write a letter to grandma to convince her to come next year. So I'm just going to take you guys through my planning process on how I plan for our lessons. It's quick, it's easy, and I don't use a curriculum. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do on day one is we deconstruct the prompt. So I put everything in a notebook. So if you're somebody that has to turn in your paperwork to the state or whatever it is for homeschooling, it's great to keep everything in a notebook. Sometimes we use Anchor chart paper and stuff like that, but for most of the time, we just use this notebook to track everything. So I'm going to give her a prompt, and the prompt is: this weekend you went to the fall festival and it was one of your favorite weekends of the year. Now you want to persuade grandma to come with you next year. Write a persuasive letter to grandma explaining why she should come to the festival next year and use reasons and details from your experience to convince her. So I just created a prompt, and then on a sticky note, it's her criteria. So this is her success criteria. So we're going to go through this prompt together on day one because I want to make sure that she's answering all parts of the prompt, and then she's going to create a list of all the things that she has to include in her writing so she doesn't forget anything. So on day one, we're deconstructing the prompt, and then I have some guiding questions that I ask her as we go along. What does persuade mean? Why would you want to convince grandma? What makes the reason strong? And these are all things that we're going to go through. So this is day one. And then we do some brainstorming. So I use the exact same notebook. We like sticky notes, y'all. So we use sticky notes. You do not have to use sticky notes. You can use highlighters or whatnot, but I know homeschooling could get boring sometimes. So anytime we add any little thing, she gets excited. So on each of the sticky notes, I have prompts to help her to brainstorm her thoughts and her ideas and get all of these things together. So we use the senses. What did you see? What did you hear? What did you smell? What did you see at the festival? What activities did you do? Games, rides, crafts. What foods did you eat? What foods did you eat? What did you smell? What were who were you with? What made you laugh? What made you feel happy? All of these things that we use just to get her wheels turning. So we always go through this part first. After deconstructing the prompt, one, make sure she knows everything that she needs to include in her letter, and just to get her brainstorming together, just to get her thoughts in order. So that's still on day one. And then we also I create a little outline of all of the components of her letter: her greeting box, introduction, reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, and conclusion. So that is day one. And the next thing we do on day one is we choose 3 reasons. So we go through activities. We talk about which reason would surprise grandma the most, which reason shows how special she is to you, like all of those different things. So I always keep a list of some questions to get the kids going. I know a lot of times they get stuck, and when I'm planning, I just want to make sure I have a lot of questions. And I am a retired teacher, so I just take some of those things that I use from the classroom, I bring into my lesson planning. And I know there's a lot of times when kids have trouble organizing their own thoughts, and I need to have those prompting questions ready to go. And then we're going to talk about, on day 2, we're going to go into drafting the letter. Now, before we draft the letter, I just create a letter. I did this in ChatGPT. I went in and I told them to write a letter just to give her an exemplar on what it looks. So we're going to take this exemplar on day 2 before we even start writing the letter, so I can teach the components of a letter to make sure that she is hitting all of these all of the things that needs to be included in the letter. So we got the date, we have the greeting, we have all the conclusion. She has her reasons, everything that she needs is in that letter. So that's going to be just like a little mini side lesson that we're going to do, just so to give her an idea of what it looks like. So that's her little exemplar. So, and again, we're going to go through all of those parts of the letter. And then she's going to write her hook and the introduction. So this is day 1. We're doing all of this in this notebook. This is day 2. I'm sorry. We're doing all of this in the notebook. So the next thing we're going to do, she's going to write her hook. And we're going to start with the introduction. And I have different types of hooks that she can choose from. It can be the sensory hook. It can be the direct hook. It can be a question hook. Whatever it is step-by-step instructions that's going to help guide us through this writing process. And then we're going to do a little mini lesson on transition words and start reason 1, start reason 2, start reason 3, and to conclude. So this is the next thing that we do on day 2. After that, we're going to go into writing up body paragraph, topic sentence, supporting details, connecting sentences. Now, sometimes we're doing 4th and 5th grade together. We're knocking out 2 grade levels this year. So we've already went through like components of a paragraph. She already has that down. What's the main idea? What's your details and stuff like that. But if your child is struggling with that, it's okay to add in something additional. Our go-to places are Khan Academy and Common Lit. They have full ELA lessons with videos and activities and questions to help them to learn these different components. But we've already accomplished that part. She already knows how to write a paragraph. So we're going to go through writing her body paragraph. Where is she going to get her ideas from and everything? It's already going to be done in her brainstorming. It's already there. We have all of our details here. We've already went through the hook. We've already went through the introduction. So everything that she needs, it's already in her notes. So we're going to take that and bring it into writing the body paragraph. I always provide an exemplar for her so she can just see what her expectations are. I feel that if she doesn't know what's expected of her, sometimes she gets really lax and she'll give me like generic writing or generic verse. I want to show her this is what a 4th or 5th grade writer looks like. This is what your writing should look like for this grade level. So it gives her a little push to not give me those, surface level paragraphs. And then on day 2, we're writing the whole letter, and then we finish with the conclusion. Again, step by step, I provide the exemplar so she can have a model of what it looks like. I have questions that's going to guide her through every step of the process. And I'm going to link this in the description. It is free on my website. So if this is an activity that you wanted to do with your child, you can do this. Again, this is a 4th, 5th grade level. And then revising and publishing. That's what we're going to do on day 3. She does not know how to type yet, but typing is something that we are working on. So we're going to go through and revise it. I don't use curriculum. So I also use this opportunity to teach my grammar lesson. So whatever we're working on for grammar are previous skills that she's already did for grammar. We're going to use that in our revision process. So it just helps us to practice her grammar skills. Or if there's something new that we're working on, it gives her opportunity to practice that when she is revising her letter. And that is day 3. And then we always read aloud. I love read aloud revision because sometimes you just need to hear it. The same way that when we're speaking or we're talking, we can catch ourselves when we're saying something incorrectly. It's the same when she's writing. We read it aloud so she can hear exactly what is it that she is where she may be making a mistake in some areas. And then I have a content revision checklist. We use the criteria that she set in the beginning, and this is just another reminder of everything. The reason I allow her to just not go to this at the beginning and I allow her to make her own criteria, because it just gives her ownership over her writing. And I think that that's good every time that they're doing any type of writing. And then again, we check for spelling and punctuation, capitalization, and complete sentences. So day 4, when we move into day 4 to 6 is optional. but it we always add something. We add art connection in. She can draw a picture for grandma, a technology tie-in. She can record the letter as a video message and add that, link that in for grandma, or send that message to grandma. And then for an additional day 6, we can compare and contrast. This is a different paragraph. Compare and contrast the fall festival weekend fall festival weekend and then a regular weekend. Another great writing that you can add, you can spread this out over as many days as you would like, but something we live the lesson, and living the lesson, writing on things that she's already interested in or things that we already done, it makes her writing more excited. It gets her more excited about it. And when she's good and excited, then I'm excited. So that's another thing that you can do in addition. You can add these extensions, or you don't have to add the extensions. And this is what we're doing for writing this week. It's going to be live every step of the week. Well, not live, but I'm going to post every step of the week, every day, what we did, so you can see this lesson come to life. And if this is something that you're interested in, I'm going to start planning our lessons live every week. I know there's a lot of parents out there that reach out and they don't want to use curriculum when it comes to ELA, and I don't. So just stay tuned. Thank you guys for tuning in. Drop me some comments. If you need some clarification, let me know as well. And again, I'm going to link this in the description so you guys can try this lesson at home and then let me know how it goes. Thank you guys for tuning in.